3, 2, 1. Hello everyone. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, Conversations Worth Having. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Matter of fact, let me know how it's going right there in the comments. Yep, right there. Drop me a comment, even if you are watching the replay. Let me know how your day is going and where you're tuning in from. Hey, Tony, loving the episode timer. That's awesome. Yeah, Tony, so that's actually, see how I can put your comments on if you join live, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. That's actually through the program I'm using, which is called Ecamm Live. You can find out about this program and all of the tools that I use for this broadcast over at edtalktv.com, but not right now. Not right now. You can do that afterwards. So all of that is there, and there's also training. If you guys didn't know, I have a short 59-minute. It's not an hour. It's 59-minute training on basics of going live to more advanced features that you can do all of this stuff. So there we are. Hey, Erica, you made it. Awesome. Erica had tagged me earlier saying that she was debating whether or not she was going to go run her errands or if she was going to make it in time for the show. She ran the errands and made it in time for the show, and she even thought about us. Like, that's how cool we all are here, okay? So it's awesome. Teresa wanted to catch you live. Yes, I'm up in the UK. Oh, yes, and we'll probably catch the replay. No worries. I got a lot of UK viewers. If this is your first time tuning in, we have a lot of international guests, audience, which is cool. So, yeah, we're a business talk show. We talk about business, tech, the user experience, and we are currently traveling, so there's a little, background changes, and wearing a hat today. Don't normally wear a hat. If you guys are curious, there you go. Let's just be real. But hey, Paula, welcome. Real quick, just to give you guys a quick background on me, because I need to start. Here's the thing, you guys. Here's the thing. You guys are asking, and you guys want to know a little bit more about me. You guys also are new, so I have to remind myself to share a little bit about what I do besides this show, right? So for everyone, real quick, I am a business consultant. I help you with, basically I'm a business development and tech expert. That breaks down to I help you with all areas of your business, getting you up and running online. I have my consulting business, which is Ed Troxel Creative, and then I have my other business, which is Stupid Easy. That's an online course platform. Helps you build your courses easier, and that's just an easier way to build them. I mean, that's basically what it is. So anyway, that's just a quick little pitch, and then you can see in the pinned comment there is a new subscription plan that I have. So that allows you to connect with me a little bit more than here on the show, and without having to go through and do the research on your own. Like, it helps you. So anyway, you can take a look at that. So now, today, we are going to jump into some random news before we go into today's topic, which is how you can be more fun. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I hear that topic, I'm kind of like, I almost passed this topic up. And I'll tell you why we went with it in a second. But when I hear that, I'm kind of like, well, that's kind of lame. Like, I'm just going to be honest. Like, how to be more fun? Like, really? That's kind of lame. Like, how am I not fun? How am I not fun, right? Like, how many of you guys are thinking that? Like, you're sitting there in the comments. Well, actually, you're probably, if you're UK, you're sitting in bed. If you're at here in the US, you're probably either putting the kids down, having dinner, or sitting on the couch, hanging out, listening, or driving and listening. So either way, it's all good. For me, I thought that topic was an interesting one, so I decided, you know what, we'll just run with it. And so we'll talk about that in a second. But first, we have random news, and this one came from Arlene. Arlene was a guest on the show a couple times here, and this was awesome. So I want to get your guys' take on this, because this may or may not set the next business trend, which is going to be going live where? That's right, going live where? As in apparel? We just might do that, depending on what you guys have to say about this next clip that I'm about to show you, which is all about random news. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this over. Give me 1 second here. Now, how many of you guys have seen this or heard of this? Again, this is courtesy of Arlene, but how many of you have seen this and would buy this podcast co-host sleeveless top in black? Obviously, this is for women right now, but I'm coming out with the men's line if this takes off, right? I'll do the Go Live apparel. But what do you guys think of this? Like, what is this right here? Like, how does that make you feel? What are you thinking? Is it something that you that catches your attention? Is it something that you're like, oh, well, I'm about to be a podcast co-host, so yes, I need that shirt. What do you think of when you see that come up? Because this is the first time I've ever seen it, and it's very interesting. It's a new take on naming your clothes, right? And also being relevant. As many of you know, or if you don't, you do now, that podcasting is huge. And if I feel like it's still just in the getting started stages. Like, it's really starting to become more mainstream now, and people are trying to have more and more podcasts, which is great. But this is the timely piece, right? Like, this is what is relevant right now. And so somebody took their sleeveless top in black and added extra to it, right? Because everyone is competing for, okay, let me back up for a second. Hold up. Let me get me back on the screen because you got to see this. So when you see that sleeveless top in black, here is the SEO part. We're going to talk about SEO for a second because this just came to me and I got to share it with you. Then we're going to go back to this sleeveless top. So when you see just sleeveless top in black, how many, and of course this is for the female audience here, but how many of you guys are actually searching for that or something like that, right? Like, most of you are going to be typing in just those classic words of sleeveless top in black. And then from there, you would find like all of these searches, right? Like on Google or on Macy's or wherever you're at, you're going to go through and have all these searches. And that's part of SEO. So does anybody know, even if you're watching the replay, does anybody know what SEO stands for before I just give you all the goods there? Type it in the comments. Let me know. I missed it too. I had no relevance to me. And I'll put it back on. I didn't get it. What's the point of that shirt? Well, Erica, that's what we'll be asking ourselves, right? What's the point? But when it comes to SEO, and I'll explain it in a minute if nobody comes up with it in the comments, but when it comes to SEO, we are typing in every day these words, like, for instance, sleeveless top. By the way, I'm not typing this in, but you might be. Sleeveless top in black. Those are key words to try to find something that is relevant to what you're looking for, right? So now, if we go back to this screen and we look at this, it's no longer just that sleeveless top in black for those who are looking for it. It is now a podcast co-host sleeveless top in black. Now, how many people are going to be looking for podcast co-host in front of all of that? Probably 0 to none. Well, I guess that's the same thing. You get what I'm saying, though. Like, not a whole lot of people are going to be doing that. Search engine optimization. Yes, exactly. You guys got it. Perfect. So you have to think about that. I see it as a wardrobe like they do on the anchors and reporters. Yeah, exactly, Sharon. So that's the thing, is like, they're being creative, right, with adding this in front. And again, when you do that, you have to think, okay, well, one, are people actually going to search for this? Chances are no. But is this going to get people's attention? Obviously, yes, because we're talking about it, right? And it's not only me, but thanks to Arlene, she had posted about this and I got to see it, so that way I could bring it onto, the show. But you also have to know that it's going to get attention, right? So that's the kind of stuff that you have to think about. And of course you have to think, is it going to be good attention or bad attention? And you have to think like, okay, it can be very creative, the fact that you put that in front of there. and then it makes it more unique. And then some people are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to buy that because I need that. Like some of you are going to be like, oh, I'm going to buy that because it's cute, right? Or I'm going to buy that because, hey, I like black and blue. Like it is what it is, right? 0 for now, but later they will. Yeah, exactly. I mean, how many of you guys, I didn't pull it up for this episode, but how many of you guys saw, if I can remember correctly, there was the terrible looking jeans. If you guys own this, I'm sorry, but terrible looking jeans that were mud stained, like literally mud on them. And I think it was Nordstrom's that sold them for like $700. $700 to make you look like you were out in the field. Like, it's crazy. And then there was those other jeans that had like the kneecap was all plastic, see-through, because kneecaps are sexy to look at, and we all just really want to see each other's kneecaps, right? I know you guys want. I'm wearing shorts. I know you guys want to see my sexy kneecaps, right? Like, it's just weird. So I don't know. It's one of those things that it just depends. Let me catch up on the comments because I feel like that's cheating for attention. Yeah. So that's what I mean. It can be for sure. It's weird when it comes to fashion. Like I'm not a fashion expert at all. I mean, obviously I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts and a hat for my show. But I will say that it's weird when it comes to fashion because there are so many things out there that you see that sell for a ton of money. A ton. And it's like, who the heck is wearing this? Why? Like what would you ever use that for? You know? So I guess it's because it's fashion, it's open game for anybody, and you can just do whatever you want. I don't know. That's just in general, not necessarily specific to this, but it's there. People hoping to think about their own podcast wear. Yeah, and that's the cool thing, right? It gets you to think a little bit, right? Because, I mean, as I joked about it, it's like, if you guys really like that, then let me just say, the first thought that came to my mind was, dang, if this takes off, I need to come up with some going live wear. Like literally like a t-shirt, some joggers, and go. Like that's it. And then for women, we can get you a cool hat, right? So then you don't have to worry about your hair. Maybe there's a cool, like, I don't know, one of those face mask things that you wear for the pores or whatever. Maybe there's a cool one that's like see-through, that's like already, I don't know, makeup done and everything. So you just pop it on, right? Like, hello? I mean, these are all things that, you start thinking of all these crazy ideas. I totally just made that last part up, but maybe one of you guys will run with it and be like, dang, that's a good idea, Ed. I should go try that. I don't know. I'm just giving it to you guys, to run with. So there it is. So anyway, that's today's random news. And now let's just jump into Nicole already taught us to be wig ready. Yeah, there you go. You can get your wigs. You can do that. Yeah, there's it's all crazy stuff. Just don't let things hold you back from showing up and delivering, right? Because that just can't happen. You might have saw, actually, I posted the clip on the page here. Don't go now, but you can go later and see the post before this. So I rarely share other things on the business page now that I have Ed Talk TV, because that's kind of our premier stuff on here. But today I just so happened to catch Good Morning America, and there was a clip with Oprah talking about the new movie and that she's in and promoting it. And it lined up perfectly with everything we talk about, with everything that we discuss here about how you just got to be you. You just got to show up. You got to deliver. And my other thing is engage, right? Like it was really, really good. I did a quick Facebook Live on my personal profile about it. But then on the business page here, there is a clip directly from Good Morning America. So check that out later because it's there. Embrace the bad hair day. Yeah, exactly. Right, Tony? So it's something that you just need to get more comfortable with being you. And that's hard for all of us. And I'm telling you, because I'm telling myself that too, okay? Like I had some good conversation today with a friend, conversations, because there was multiple of them, with a friend about, being more open about different things, talking about more, personal stuff and, working on my book, which a lot of you guys have been asking for and wanting to know about. So I've been focused on getting that organized and really feeling like it's going to happen this year. So, and I actually put a date on it, and now I'm telling you guys. So obviously, that's being held accountable for that too. So feel free at any time. You can let me know in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, if there's something specific you would like to see from the book. And I just want to hear your feedback, right? Like I have my outline, I have things organized, somewhat organized, and it's been in the making for years now. But I always like to put that out there and see what you guys think and maybe what you're curious about more of and what you want to know more about. So that's kind of the reasoning behind the book and some other things that are coming up, and it's just that's what it's about, and that's why we go live, right? Like going live and bringing people onto the show like we had yesterday. Vicky did an awesome job. Like if you guys tuned in or missed yesterday's episode, you got to watch it. Vicky from the UK killed it. She killed it. She did amazing. And then get this, she watched the replay, because remember, I told her live during the broadcast yesterday, I said, Vicky, you did so well. You're going to watch this replay. I told her she was going to watch the replay because I want her to watch the replay. She was going to watch the replay and she was going to be like, dang, Vicky, you killed it. You slayed that. Like, yes. You guys, she commented. She knows she did good. She knows. So shout outs to Vicky for doing such a good job and motivating and inspiring all of us to go live and to just show up, deliver, and then engage. Oh, if you guys saw yesterday's comments, they're blowing up. I woke up this morning and had over 60 notifications, all from Vicky and others watching and tuning in, even if you were watching the replay. So I love that. At first I thought, what happened? What fires do I need to put out? So you guys did awesome. Yeah, she did great, right, Erica? So anyway, so that's a big one. So when I say, let's just dive in, okay? You guys ready? So when I say, and we're going to be working off of this article that I pulled up, so I'll talk about it more in a minute. But when I say how to be more fun, what does that come up with? Like, what does that make you feel when I say, how you can be more fun? Like, do you already think that you're fun? Do you already know that you need to be more fun? Like, do you need to loosen up a little bit? And some of these you might not want to answer, and that's fine. But think about what is it that makes up that word fun, and how are you doing that or not doing that, if that makes sense. So there's this great article Melina had wrote, and to be honest, you guys, I don't even know how I got this article today. I think it was in one of the emails that I went through quickly, and I was like, oh, that sounds like an interesting link. Let me just click on it, and I opened it from Quora, and I don't remember how I got it, but anyway, it was in one of the emails. And so I started reading it, and I was like, okay, I don't really care for the title, how can I learn to be more fun? Because I'm like, it doesn't really, but I wanted to give it a chance because I thought, okay, there's something there. Because I started reading through it and I was like, okay, some of these are actually really cool and they're worth talking about, right? Conversations worth having here. Then I noticed a few minutes before going live the date of this article. Can you guess what year this article was written in? I'll let you know that it's 2018. It has been within, we'll say, 2005 and 2018. And what do you think, even if you're catching the replay, what year do you think this article was written in? As you're guessing, I'm going to start talking about how many they have. Let's see. They have 10 plus a bonus. So we'll go over these 10 because they're important to note because they're going to start the discussion, whether it's live here in the replay, which is the after party, or whether it's just something that you start thinking about up here. And then in the days and weeks to come, you start reflecting on that and thinking, oh, okay, there we go. So yeah, Tony, Vicky's definitely catching up on sleep. So as we jump into it, The first one, and I don't know if these are in any specific order, but the first one is one that I was just like, yes, yes. And it's why you guys are here all the time, right? It's be interested in other people's stories. Now, how many of us are interested in other people's stories? It doesn't have to be just my story. But when you hear somebody telling their story, it's just interesting. I don't know. For me, it's one of those things that it's just really, really cool to hear everyone's story because we all have a story to tell and we all need to share our story. Doesn't mean we have to share every single detail, but we can learn so much from each other. I love that you guys have Sharon 2007 with 2013. So this article was actually 2015, which I thought was interesting. 2015, November, to be specific, it was November 2nd of 2015. So the first one on this list is about be interested in other people's stories. And then they go into detail about like, how do you get interested in people's stories? Like, can you guys guess? I will say that it's two things that I say a lot. And it's not the show up, deliver, and engage, even though that's important. The big one, the two big ones that I usually say, and if you're new, I haven't said it, I don't think in the last couple episodes, but in order to get interested in people's stories, you have to ask and listen. Ask and listen. Those are the two biggest things that you have to do. And so you have to realize that that is what you need to do, even in your business, is to find out what's going on, how you can dive deeper, and all of that. Erica says, stories can encourage engagement. People can sometimes relate. Exactly. It helps the conversation, right? It helps build that conversation. And that's how you keep going. So just keep that in mind. So, number 2, remember. Now, this is an interesting one because you're probably like, well, remember what? What am I remembering, Ed? Well, you're remembering the other people's stories, their names, their ideas, their hobbies. You're just really remembering something that you can carry that conversation with, right? That helps you with your networking when you go to these events for business. That helps when you go to these workshops to learn, and then you can expand and talk to people there and get to know them. Part of that networking, right? It all ties together. And, you know, for me, I have a hard time remembering names, but I can remember faces. So then I try to do the trick of, you know, being able to say, "Hi, Erica, nice to meet you." "Oh, okay, thank you, Erica. I'll follow up later with that proposal, Erica." Like, you constantly are remembering to say it out loud and put it to the face if you can see the picture or if you're in person. So that's another important one. Number 3, expand your mental library. Woo! This is a good one. This is one of my favorites. You guys are doing it right now. You're doing it right now. Personal development. You're taking time out of your day to listen to some guy on Facebook who just so happens to be Ed right here. It's kind of weird how I said that. But anyway, you guys get it. I was trying to go somewhere with that and whatever. So anyway, expand your mental library. Read a lot and make it diverse. So that's a key that I want you guys to understand is don't just read your industry books. You have to branch out. You know, a lot of you may not know that my first business was a magazine. I started and ran a magazine all on my own for 2 years while in college and working a couple part-time jobs. I did all of that because I did my research. Well, I loved it. I mean, that was the thing. And I didn't want to move to New York to go work for Men's Health because that wasn't really feasible and it was going to be too expensive. So anyway, I decided why not just create something here at home and run with it. And I did. And so what I did was I didn't just look at what books were on how to start a magazine, how to run a magazine. No, I looked at those books. I looked at business books I looked at marketing books. I looked at different magazines on the shelf, and I looked through and took basically an audit, basically looked at it and said, yes, no, maybe, let me think about it, like all of that stuff. Hey, Jess, welcome. Just in time, we're talking about the magazine, so it's awesome. Really think about that, and why would you move to New York when Cali has the lemon trees? I know. That's why I couldn't go too. It's because Jess loves lemons, and we have lemon trees in California, and she doesn't. So that was another thing. Erica says, yes, I often read books by people who are very much opposite of me. It expands your insights into why others think, how they think, do what they do. So true. So true. And that's why, you guys, I have to kind of tell you that I'm excited about my book because it's going to dive deep into my background, where I started, where I came from, childhood and stuff. So some of that you guys might be like, well, that's kind of boring. I don't really want to know, about your childhood, which is fine. That's there. But then it's going to go into the whole business stuff. And that's where it's going to be exciting because I have to go through the notes and everything, but I'm debating whether it's going to be your main book. If there's enough to just be hey, this is your main book. It's like your Bible. Boom. This is all you need to get you in the right spot, get you up and running. Or if it's going to be better to do a series where I break it down and I talk about, okay, here's basically who Ed is and how he got his first business. And then here's the series that follows the next few businesses, right? And what has developed over that time. So I have to think about that. Obviously, you guys can weigh in and let me know what you prefer as well. But that's what you want. You also want to be relatable. Yeah, Sharon, exactly. Jess says, people don't even realize how much your story impacts the business. It will blow their mind. Yes, Jess is referring to my story, but yes, your story as well, you guys. So keep that in mind that really is big and that you want to branch out. You don't want to just focus in for your research. You just don't want to focus in on just what you're doing, what you want to do. You want to take that research, read about it, learn about it, but then also expand and see what else is out there too, because that's what's going to make you stand out more, okay? So number 4, this is where we all can practice, right? Sharpen your sense of humor. Now, how can you sharpen your sense of humor? I mean, you can have awesome conversations with friends in the comments. You could have awesome GIF images in the comments, right? Between each other, that kind of sharpens your humor. What they were saying here, and I thought this was an interesting one, is watch stand-up comedy. Now, I don't know about you guys. I don't watch I don't watch a whole lot of Netflix or any of that stuff anyway, but how many of you guys, even if you're watching the replay, are into stand-up comedy? Because I don't know. I'm not really that much into it. There's maybe, I don't even think there's more than 2 or 3 that have really I've laughed at really out loud, and I don't even know who they were. Actually, I can't remember. Well, I will say Wanda Sykes. Back in the day, I haven't listened or watched any of her other stuff, but back in the day, Wanda Sykes, oh my gosh, she'd kill me. I still have some clips that I'm just I die when I listen to them in iTunes. I'm probably going to listen to that tonight, actually. That would be funny. Yeah, thanks, Whit. Yes, for my new book. I know, it's awesome, right? Oh, yes, for sure. My business would not exist. I always tell people, honor your story. Yeah, and that Jess has done a great job, by the way, you guys, for sharing her story, both here on the show, but then she also did a Facebook Live where she was like, I'm just going to show up, deliver, and see what happens. And she did. And she did great. And she's been really loving it ever since. So it's been awesome. This live makes you so happy. Well, look at Jess. You got your face right there. You're so happy. We're all just so happy right now. I love it. Thank you. And Tammy says, I look for Steve Martin masterclass. Does that count? Sure. I don't know. I can't recall Steve Martin masterclass. That maybe is embarrassing for me to say out loud now, but I'm in the zone, so I'm kind of I don't know. Netflix and Bible study, yes. Truth. Yes. Into it. Hubby and I watch a lot of stand-up comedy. Okay, cool. So that's why Erica's so dang funny. because she watches a lot of comedy. And now I can see, now I know a little bit more about her story. That's interesting. Now I can put the two pieces together. Do you guys see how that clicked? Eric and I have been hanging out a lot lately here in the comments, over on my personal profile. She's in San Francisco. I'm north of her. So we haven't actually met in person, but we've done some lives together. And I know, like, I can tell in the comments and stuff that she's funny, but I don't really know her story, right? Now I know a little bit more about her story, because now I know that's where she gets her sense of humor from. You know, I'm sure other things, but that's how it gets sharpened, right? So that's what you want to think about, and go with. So that's number 4 there. And let's take a look. Okay, cool. We're on time. Number 5 is come up with a few conversation starters. Okay, so this is an interesting one. I feel like I've learned from so many of the comics. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you watch it, Erica, I'm over here talking to you because I'm looking at the comments over here, but you're right there. So when you have conversation starters, let me know, even if you're watching the replay, how many of you guys try to have at least 1 or 3 or 5 conversation starters when you know you're going to go somewhere? Let's say it's a networking event. Let's say it's a conference, a workshop. Do you have a conversation starter that you normally, revert to when you're like sweaty armpits and you're nervous and you're like, I need to talk to this person, but I don't know what to say. Hey, how are you? Like, what do you guys have? Do you guys have anything? If not, that's okay. I'm just curious. Tammy says, yeah, Erica, you should take that class. It's really good. So, for me, the conversation starters, it's hard because sometimes I come up with them in the moment. Like, it depends on the event, right? If I know I'm going to be somewhere, I try to get prepared as much as possible. And I think about, like, who's going to be there? What am I trying to get out of this? And then going from there with, okay, if I see so-and-so, what questions could I come up with real quick that keep the conversation going, right? Let's see comments real quick. Jess, I compliment people. That is always my first. Oh, that is a big one, you guys. Yes, for sure. At least a few. Lisa says, awesome. No, I need to. Yeah, exactly, right? Well, I am going to play off of Jess for a second there with the comment. And I'm telling you because I need to tell myself too, is that when we drop a comment, see where I'm going with this? Not just here, not just the magic happens in the comments here on Ed Talk TV, but when you drop a comment, it's so nice to meet you, Tammy. I loved how you talked about branding the other day, and specifically you brought up the blue in my logo and how it really made you feel comfortable and it made you feel like you trusted me. Totally just made that up on the fly there, obviously. But you get what I'm saying? Now Tammy's going to buy into me a little bit more, right? She's like, oh, all right, Ed, I'm listening. Tell me more. Tell me more. And so then there's that conversation piece, right? And we go from there. For later, okay, cool, thanks, Erica. Sometimes, Paulette says, sometimes I have a plan ahead and I think of topics I can discuss. Exactly. Like, you have to, it's all about that mindset and trying to come up with things, in the moment. And I'm trying to think, because I don't go to a lot of live events. Sorry, guys. I haven't. And I'm just trying to think, like, the ones that I have been to, it's kind of one of those, oh, so nice. I know. I should buy you coffee. Tammy, you're hilarious. Coffee and cookies. Oh! Do you guys remember why I'm saying cookies? Well, let me take it back for a second. Hold on. Number 2 on this list is remember, right? Practice your memory and remember other people's stories, names, ideas, hobbies, etc. Well, Tammy had once said, and I don't know what episode, but that's not the point. She had once said, can I pay you in cookies? I said, yes, chocolate chip, please. So there you go. That's where it's at. Jess, I will even be like, hey, did you get your haircut? Or, hey, I really like that shirt. It looks great. Compliments help people realize you are paying attention. Yes. And the thing is, you guys, when you go with compliments, it can be as simple as, you look great today. That can get the conversation started. Sometimes, maybe you need a little bit more, right? Because depending on the person, they may just blow that off and be like, okay, cool, and keep it moving. So you may have to dive a little deeper. So you kind of want to mix things up and just practice. You can even just practice in the mirror, practice on live broadcasts, practice in your Facebook groups if it's allowed. If you're in Check with Ed Monthly and you want to do something in the Facebook group, please do it. That's what it's there for. If you guys don't know what Check with Ed Monthly is, pinned post has details. So just keep that in mind. See, Tammy's laughing so good. I know. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it works real well when I'm not doing all this other business stuff, right? Yeah, she said she would make me cookies. I know. Hint, people love to talk about themselves. Thank you, Tammy. Yes. Although you guys probably have figured out that I don't talk about myself a whole lot. At least I don't think I do, which is why a lot of you are telling me, Ed, you have to talk more about what you do. Like, just put it out there. You know, you've created 3 businesses. You created a magazine. Like, talk about it more. So that's why I'm talking about that stuff more. So don't be surprised when you start hearing that more and more. So anyway, so that's what you want to think about. Let's move on to number 6. Position yourself as an expert. Ask, what do you study, do, what is your hobby, and then tell, quote, wow, honestly, I don't know the first thing about that. Can you tell me a bit more? Ooh, well, that's interesting. That's a churn of events. How about that? Let me read that back to you guys. Well, let me ask you before I read it to you. Have you ever, even if you're watching the replay, have you ever put this question out to somebody that you have met? And I'm going to read it again. Quote, wow, honestly, I don't know the first thing about that. Can you tell me a bit more? Have you guys ever talked about that before? I'm curious, because that's a good one, right? Let me just back up for a second and say, don't use that to be spammy. I know you guys won't, but don't use that to be spammy, but use that as, hey, I'm actually interested in what you have to say or what you do, and I really don't know what it is. So can you share with me, you know? And then go from there. It's like that game, I never have I ever. Yeah. Yes, I have that one. Nice, Sharon. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, that's something that you guys can run with and see how it is. Let me go ahead and pop that into the comments, because that way you guys, even though I'm watching the replay, you can be like, wait, where was that again? So let me copy this and paste it for you. So there we go. Boom. So, think about things like that. You may know, I'm going to use Tammy again for a quick example. You may know all about branding, but maybe there's something that, Brittany, hey, Brittany, welcome. So I'm going to use Brittany because she just popped on. So Tammy may know all the things about branding, but maybe Brittany created this really cool logo, and Tammy's sitting there like, wow, I've never seen that before. I wonder how she created that. What program did she use? And so she could ask her that question, like, tell me more. I'm just curious. Tell me more. And then that starts the conversation, right? So just keep that in mind. I never said it like that. It's a better way, though. Yeah. So, and you guys obviously put your own spin on it, because that's not mine either. I just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, it gets you to think, right? I mean, that's why we're working off of this article, is to help us think outside the box and to kind of understand, like, these are ways to not only make us fun, but to help us grow personally and professionally, right? Like, this is how it's going to help your business grow. This is how it's going to help you get the magic to happen right there in the comments. So that's what you want to think about. So number 7, this one is one that we have to all start getting more comfortable with. I know I still have a ways to go on it too, but it's better. And you guys can see the growth personally if you watch all of these episodes. But this one is number 7, and it says, laugh at yourself. Most people enjoy telling you how smart, brilliant, and glorious they are when you first meet them, and that's annoying. Instead, have a clumsy, short, handy, and make people laugh. Story, not handy. See? And I didn't even do that on purpose. That was just me missing it. Instead, have a clumsy story handy and make people laugh. You guys, let me tell you, thanks, Brittany. This is temporary. I'm going back to my normal office tomorrow. So this is temporary. But here's a perfect example. I don't know how many of you guys saw the can opener video, but that was probably one of the funniest highlight moments that I've put out to the world, right? Like I've done dumb, like fun Snapchat videos between friends and stuff, like, but I don't put a whole lot of that up online, right? So when I had this crazy, weird can opener, right? Just as like, that's my favorite video. And it's true. Like I can laugh about it. I laughed at myself. It's one of those things that started the conversation. You guys, I had no normal can opener. Like I had an old can opener, you know, the cranky type that it's all manual and it cuts the inside and it pops the lid halfway up. You usually cut yourself on it or you get a fork and flip it and then pop it off. Like that's the can opener I'm used to, right? Well, where I'm staying, there was no regular can opener. There's this new style that I could figure out how to put it on the can. But as you manually rotate it around, I'm like, what the hell? Like there's nothing happening here. And I'm looking at it. I'm like moving it around. I'm like, okay, I know I'm a tech guy, but I can open up a flippin' can. Like, give me a break here. And I spent like 10 minutes. I'm not even kidding you guys. Like 10 minutes trying to figure out how to open up the stupid can. Then I tried calling a couple people because I was like, okay, well, I know somebody's going to be able to tell me this, right? Nobody was answering. So I said, you know what? Let me go on Facebook Live. Let me just be vulnerable. Let me put myself out there. I'm just going to be, I was in t-shirts and jogging sweats. And I was like, let me just do this. You know, I didn't even put the phone in landscape. I put in a portrait mode and I just went with it. And it was hilarious, you guys. I'm a tech guy. I go on live to talk about opening a can of beans and not figuring out how to open it. Like, it's crazy, right, Brittany? Yeah, you missed it. It's hilarious. I should share the link in the comments if I remember later. But it's one of those things, like, I knew going into it that it was going to be okay. I was like, I'm just going to be vulnerable. I'll just do it. And then from there, it was hilarious because I'm like, dude, I'm trying to open up a can for dinner that I cannot open. Like, what the heck? And then I found another can opener that was the same style, so I still couldn't figure it out. And then I had people jump on that were like, oh no, Ed, it's not just you. We've all been there. It does cut. You just have to notice that on the side, it doesn't cut around the top like it used to because apparently that was too dangerous. So now it cuts around the side, leaving no sharp edges, which is super smart, right? But if it takes me 10 minutes plus a Facebook Live video to try to figure out how to open up my can, that's way too much work. Way too much work coming from a user experience, right? And I'm not the only one that has had that issue. So anyway, there it is. So laugh at yourself. Be okay with it. And the way you get comfortable with that, you guys, is by going live. I'll tell you that right now. But if you're like, oh, I'm not ready for all of that mess, then start playing around with Snapchat features. Start playing around with your Instagram stories, your Facebook stories. Post it and then delete it. Share it with just a friend. Like, do whatever, but get comfortable with videotaping yourself. And I say videotaping because that's like old school, but you know, videotaping yourself and going from there. And then even if you don't even post it, just do it and watch yourself and be like, you're a fool. Like, that's crazy. I'm just gonna delete, right? Like, do what you gotta do. I go live all the time and forget I'm live. There you go, Amanda. There you go. And that's the thing. And then you can just laugh at yourself and be like, I'm good, you know? My friend's husband is an engineer. She bought him an MP3 player. He couldn't work it. She did it, and most of her songs are on it. Nice. That's awesome. You know, there is a fun way, like here, I'll show you guys. Let me pull up. Why don't we just do this right now? We still have time. Let me pull up. Let me see what I got. Let me see what I got for you because obviously you're going to want it. So obviously, okay, so this one's not me, but this is one that I sent to a friend because it's just to make it fun. So here we go. So let's see if I can get it to, hopefully you can see. So it's just like an elephant in the bathroom dancing like it's got to go pee, right? Like I just sent that to a friend. I mean, obviously it's not that funny, but you guys have probably seen some of my dancing videos. So, let's see. Can I do this one? Is this one a good one? So I don't think I posted this one, but like you can just do little goofy ones and just have fun with it, right? Like you don't have to send it to anybody. You can just watch the preview and then delete. The whole point, though, is that you get more comfortable with seeing and hearing yourself. Because I will tell you right now, I have been where you are. Oftentimes I'm still there when I'm not on this show. Like, I know that there is a time, and I know some of you can relate right exactly to this. There was a time where I feared getting up in front of people, you guys. Like literally, when I was a kid, I literally had a meltdown when people tried to get me up on stage. That's changed over time, obviously, thankfully, but when you go live, like I'll tell you, before this last year and a half, I hated hearing myself. I hated watching myself on video. I was going to say TV, but you know what I mean? Like I was just like you guys, where I was like, no, I don't want to hear myself. No, I don't want to watch myself. Oh, geez, I said like 500 times. I said, oh man, I look bad, like this and that, whatever. Like, we just have to do it. We just have to get more comfortable with ourselves. And the only way that we can get more comfortable with ourselves is by looking at ourselves, by listening to ourselves, by watching what we're doing. You guys, like that's how you're going to build your confidence and get you out there. I know I just kind of went off on that one, but there you go. Yeah, exactly. Jess knows. She's got plenty of dancing videos and karaoke battles. Yeah. So, you just have fun with it. Like, get one of your friends. You have somebody that you can go through and text and just do that with. And if not, if you don't even want to go that far, like I said, just watch the preview and then delete it. Or save it, because you never know when you'll need it. And you never know when you need a good laugh. So keep that up there. Perfect. Absolutely good. I'm glad you guys agree with that. See? Aren't you glad you tuned in? You got a little of everything today. It's awesome. Okay, so let's keep this moving. Number 8, refresh your stories time after time. Remember to whom you have told it before. Have a few more handy. Don't repeat. So that one's good in person. But I will say, Michael Jordan would watch all of his games. Yeah, thank you, Brittany, for bringing that up. That is important. That is important, which is why I told Vicky yesterday to watch the replay. Because she probably wouldn't have watched it if I didn't tell her. She watched it, and she realized she's good. So that's what you have to pay attention to. Amanda, I don't watch myself back. The reason is I'm too self-critical and see all the bad things, so I just think it's gone and if you move on, that's awesome. So that's the thing. Work with whatever you have. Whatever's working for you, go with it. I will say that I don't really watch most of mine anymore. Maybe I should. But at the beginning, I did, especially Periscope days, I did watch my replays at least for a few minutes because I needed to see and hear myself. I needed to say, okay, I'm not that bad. I'm being really critical. I can get past that. Like, I just need to do this. So for me, I had to. Now I don't really watch them as replays. I just don't. I follow up with the comments and then I keep it moving, right? I mean, I just have too many other things that I need to do. So I can't sit here and watch every single replay. But it's something to help you get started. Now, number 8, when it says refresh your story time after time, and it talks about don't repeat, that's going to be a little different when it comes to live broadcasting. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Like I've already put it out there today that you're going to start hearing me talk more about like that I have a consulting business, that I have an online education platform business, that I have started a magazine before. Like I have to tell you that because you are probably showing up every day, but there are new people that will be showing up. There will be people watching this that aren't on Facebook. They're over on my website catching it. There will be people that are watching this for the first time over on YouTube. So you have to remember that when you are going live, your kind of your intro, you kind of have some things that you have to do with a repeat. You know, that's why you notice most of the time I will say a little intro about the show, you know, that it's a talk show about business, tech, and the user experience. If you want to become a guest, you can go to edtalktv.com. Like that's kind of the repeat action that I have to put in there, because there'll be new people watching this all the time. And this is living on Facebook. This is living on my website. This is on YouTube. So they need to understand that, because as you can see, we've got some first timers today. I've had people yesterday in the replay tell me that they caught me for the first time and now they're addicted to the show. So it's just one of those things that it will be different for where you're at in terms of if it's in person, then yeah, maybe telling your story the same time over and over to the same person, it's going to get played out, right? But when it comes to live broadcasting, you kind of have to do that. Let me just check the comments real quick. I totally did that too. Watch my Periscopes. Yeah, and it helped, right, Brittany? Yeah, that's a big one. I love your profile picture, by the way. It's so much fun. Stage presence, yeah. Yes, I am learning that consistency in your story is key with lives. Yeah, it really is, you guys, and that's a big one. As you grow, your story will refresh. Yes, Lisa, I like that. I like that. Yeah, it will. It really will. Okay, so let's keep it moving because we're getting close on time. Number 9 is a big one, which I will tell you, and you guys let me know in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. You let me know if you're already doing this, but I'm already going to tell you you're doing this. What is it? Number 9 is start journaling. Now, you may think of all these different things that come to mind when it comes to journaling. You may think, okay, Ed, I got my journal, I'm writing in it. This is my business book, but you know, you got a journal to write in. You may think, okay, I have my online journal app thing. Like whatever journaling is for you, excuse me, whatever journaling is for you, great. But I'm telling you right now, even if you think you're not doing it, you're doing it. That's because you're probably posting something online, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, whether it's stories or regular posts, whether it's Facebook Lives, whether it's blog posts, whether it's podcasts, whether it's whatever. Chances are you are putting something on paper or on the internet, right? The internet, the interwebs, whatever you want to call it. So understand that you're already journaling. You just may not be journaling the way that you think of when you hear the word journal. So play with that, see what you can do with that and where you can go with it. Number 10, don't try to fill every second with the conversation. Smile, take a deep breath. If you're on a Facebook Live, take some water. Go from there, right? Like you don't have to be go every 5 seconds, right? Like you can take a breath. You can smile. You can enjoy. Embrace the silence, right? We've talked about that. Even on your live broadcast. Remember, when people are commenting right there, when people are commenting, it's a little bit of a delay that will come through. So you have to know that going in and be like, okay, I'm going to ask this question, put it out there, and then remind yourself that you got to talk about something, right? Or take a break and see what happens. I don't do journaling per se. I do morning pages, learned from The Artist's Way by Julia. Okay, it changed everything for me. Cool. See, now you guys, how many of you, well, and you don't have to say in the comments, but I'm just going to put this out there. Knowing what Erica just said, I'm already curious. I'm like, oh, morning pages. Tell me more. And so somebody in the comments is probably going to say, Erica, I don't know what that is. Can you tell me more? And then what does that what happens? The magic is happening in the comments. There's a conversation going on. There's resources being shared. There's a new connection being made. Like there's so many things, you guys. I could probably depict comments, if that's the right word, like nobody's business probably right now. Silence allows others to talk. As an extrovert, I have to practice silence is all right, as I tend to dominate conversations. Yeah, but you know what? It's good, Jess, because I know from working with you that with your business and everything that you've done and helped me with in my business and other people's businesses, I know that helps a lot because you're helping the conversation develop, and you're being careful about not taking over, but planting the seed so that we can think for ourselves and really give you a good answer. So if you guys haven't checked out Jess and her awesome business, definitely do so. Brittany, one of the things I'm working on in my lives is definitely slowing down. I think I get nervous talking to myself and feel I have to keep going. And how many of you guys, even watching the replay, you can throw up an emoji, you can throw up a GIF image, whatever. How many of you can agree with that? Because I will tell you right now, I agree. So I'm going to just type it. I agree. Boom. There you go. I agree. That's what happens, you know? And then you realize when you have good conversation going on, then you're like, oh, crap, we got 5 minutes left, so we got to figure this out, right? But thankfully, we're already at number 10, and there's a bonus. So for number 11 from this article, the bonus is remind yourself of small social skills. Smile, look people in the eye, which is why it's important to have your camera, whether it's a webcam like the one I'm using currently, or if you're having a phone, which I will say, I have to still figure this out for Androids because I notice Androids are a little different when you look at the camera. But when you are on an iPhone, you always want to have it flipped to the left and have the front-facing camera on the left. I noticed on some Androids, I don't know if it's on all of them, you kind of have to look directly, when you have your phone in this mode, you kind of have to look directly at the center, I think. Because if you look at the left, it still doesn't look right. I know I tested that with a client the other day, and they had an Android phone, and it didn't work as well. So if you have an Android phone, test it out, play with it, see what happens. If not, you can look around a little bit, you know, don't be going too crazy. But you want to make sure that you feel and that you look people in the eye so that you can feel connected, right? Like this looks better, us, just you and me. It's just you and me. There is nobody else right now. It's just Ed and you, right? Like that's it. That's all you got. And you got this. And you're going to make it happen. You're going to show up, deliver, and engage, and call it a day. Boom. Like right there, I can clip that little piece, which I'm probably going to do, and then I can share that elsewhere. And then you guys can have that to play whenever you need to, right? Because how many of you need more Ed in your life, right? So just keep that in mind. We were having a serious business convo, and I knew he was trying to do something else, and I was not. Oh, yeah, so she's talking in the comments. Cool. Okay, so that's number 11. Remind yourself of smaller social parts. I'm going to go ahead and pop this link in the comments so you guys have it for anybody who would like to reference it for later for that. So article we covered. Boom. There you guys go. So anyway, if you guys are around, this is your first time joining, thank you so much. And be sure to check out previous episodes. All the info on the tech that I use, the training that I offer around going live, all of that stuff can be found on edtalktv.com. There you can also maneuver your way over to find out more about me. There's a Start Here page, which is just checkwithed.com. Made it easy for you, fun. And then if you are not in Check with Ed monthly, well, you can check that out too. And that gives you private tutorials as well as a supportive group where I drop in a lot of good resources. Yesterday we had some good savings tips, not only from me, but from members in the group too. So that was cool. So anyway, have a great night. I'm going to leave you with our sponsor, which is Stupid Easy. That's the other business. So that way, any of you guys who have an online course, you guys can check out that. Even if you don't use the platform, check out the resources there because, again, they're free and they're going to help you. So have a great night, guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care. This episode is sponsored by Stupid Easy. Easily create, share, and sell your online courses. Discover more at stupideasy.com.